been 2 years since Mass Effect 2 won almost everyone's Game of the Year award, and now finally it's time to take the fight to the ultimate enemy. Hello and welcome to 5-inch Floppy, I'm Junglist, and we are back for the year. Without revealing too much about what happened at the end of the second game, main character Shepard has information that a sentient army of robots known as the Reapers are on their way to cleanse the galaxy of organic intelligence.
The Reapers are more advanced than we are. More powerful, more intelligent. They don't fear us, and they'll never take pity on us.
But politicians will be politicians, and nobody acted on his warnings. Before you could say R.Yakshi, this was on Earth's front door. The galaxy's problems are piling up. War is everywhere. The Turians and the Reapers, the Quarians and the Geth, and Cerberus and just about everywhere. And while your team doesn't fully trust you from working with Cerberus in the second game, Martin Sheen is busy with his own clandestine plan.
I see a way to control, to dominate and harness the Reaper's power. Imagine how strong humanity would be.
All the while, instead of killing, the Reapers turn those you care about into monstrous, weaponized versions of their former selves. With so much stacked against you, Shepard is given emergency diplomatic powers to broker the treaties necessary to band the galaxy together. So Mass Effect 3 isn't so much about building a team for an impossible mission as building an army. As you're told, you're going to need every species and all their ships to have even a chance. And navigating through that diplomatic minefield means picking a path through Mass Effect's forever flawed black and white morality system. Taking the more positive option in conversations will give you Paragon points, whereas pessimistic or just rude choices will gain you Renegade points. With enough points, you can perform special actions in moments like this.
Without help, this war's already over.
Forget it. Drop me off someplace, cause
Enough! Don't you think I'd rather stay and fight?
Problem being, the middle-of-the-road option is usually the most sensible, but least rewarding.
Earth is under siege, and you're hatching a scheme to control the Reapers?
The repercussions of these Paragon and Renegade moments are big. People on your team dying big. So instead of saying what you want to all game, you end up just acting like either a naive idealist or a quick-tempered asshole. Of course, Bioware wouldn't go as far as to design new gameplay around the choices you make, so the effects of these decisions are limited to the game's fiction. But as far as the Mass Effect universe goes, the weight of these decisions couldn't be bigger.
Do you honestly believe curing the genophage will end in lasting peace?
So at least fiction-wise, you feel like you're affecting massive change. And if it works correctly, decisions from previous games should affect this game.
Shepard, Commander, help us.
Which makes you wonder what happens if certain characters weren't around.
Few Solarian scientists interested in genophage. None with my expertise. Had to be me.
Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Possibly.
Speaking of which, you know you're a nerd when conversations that used to be like this. Dude, could you imagine her face on her body? Are now like this. Dude, could you imagine Mass Effect's role-playing with L.A. Noir's facial tech? Not all of Mass Effect is talky-talky though. Pacing out this space opera are very regular firefights that play out like a simplified Gears of War. Combat in Mass Effect is like when you're playing as a kid and you have an answer for everything because you just make stuff up.
Big, you're dead!
Nah, I've got armor.
Well, that's okay, cause I got warp.
No, I'm not hurt because I got a biotic barrier.
Oh yeah, well, my allies got concussive shot. Wheel, concussive shot.
Yeah, it's pretty much you've got a thing, it's good against their thing, you use it. But in 3, this kindergarten combat has been made more fun. Not only do guns feel and sound better, but the balance between gunplay and your auto-targeting abilities has been tweaked. Each encounter plays out like a mini version of Horde mode, with more enemies coming at you until, typically, a larger mini-boss at the end. There are even glimpses of actual nuance to the combat, such as enemies with power shields. You can try and shoot through their little peek hole, or you can combine some powers with your shooting. Reapers themselves are traditionally dull, but they've been spiced up a bit in 3, as each race has their own assimilated form of Reaper. You'll discover more and more of these as the galaxy gets taken over, and the best missions are those with a bit of mystery, where you discover more and more grim atrocities.
Someone vented the air from this room while they were still here. Looks like they died trying to claw their way out. This is brutal, even by Cerberus standards.
No matter how long you take, your squad of 3 will always arrive at a critical moment, though you can do these missions in whatever order you want in your quest to raise a galactic army. In most of this game, the more that you do, the better. If you're a completionist and you like putting your cursor over everything and flicking every switch on every console, that's beneficial. But when it comes to raising your galactic army, after you do every mission, you can only increase it by playing multiplayer or buying the iPhone game. The size of your galactic army affects which ending you get, an odd decision considering most people would jump into multiplayer after finishing the campaign. Multiplayer in itself is alright. It's the basic Mass Effect combat in a horde-like setting where you and a couple friends take on waves and waves of enemies. But you need multiplayer for a good ending, and to fight better and quicker in multiplayer there are microtransactions, or you can buy the iPhone app. So indirectly, it's cash for a better ending to your game. Does anybody smell EA? And that brings us to Endgame. Some have accused Bioware and EA of hurting legitimate customers by giving you a lesser ending to your game without multiplayer as a way of fighting piracy. Not only did our ending conflict with the full Paragon nature of our playthrough, it conflicted with previous decisions we had made and made them meaningless. Whatever their thought process, allowing experimentation with business models to affect the world's fiction was a mistake, especially with the saga's epic finale. Fortunately though, it is exactly that. It is epic, and it is final. It doesn't skimp on gratuitous space battles, and it has derivative but fantastic sci-fi writing all throughout. You may not like the ending, but at least it doesn't deprive you of a sense of closure.